Welcome to the Let's Talk Politics Alabama podcast with your host, Daniel Stover and Russ Sanders, where we take a look at Alabama politics like a drive down I-65 from North Alabama to the state capital in Montgomery and all the way to the Sugar Sand Coast.
I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
I'm Kay Ivey, but there's no step too high for a high stepper.
We choose truth over facts.
I don't want to speak negatively. I said, though, that if I lose this election, maybe I'll end up moving to Alabama.
Someone has once said that actually, as long as there are final exams, there will be prayer in schools.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Let's Talk Politics Alabama, the podcast. Tonight, we're going to kind of, I don't know as if we're taking a break from politics, but we're going to take and discuss, we got a friend of ours that's known around North Alabama and beyond probably, that's going to join us tonight, and we're going to do some discussion on how things are going as far as our workforce right now, and really want to get into how Southerners, we get a bad name on a lot of things. We're last in a lot of things. But you know what? We're number one when it comes to hospitality and respect. So we're going to discuss that a little bit. Do want to take and say, you know, we're saddened by the passing of Colin Powell, and you know, he served for a lot of presidents, and it's just sad passing there. But we're going to move into let's introduce our guest tonight, Mr. Shaun Montgomery. Let's see.
Hey,
what do they call you now? Cowbell Daddy?
it's Cowbell Daddy, Puddle Duck. I've been known as, I mean, they've called me a little bit of everything, especially since I wore a tutu.
Yeah, I have to ask, you know, did you lose a bet, or you just couldn't get out of the dress from the ugly walk? I mean, come on.
Well, actually, how the tutu came about was it was kind of a you won't do it.
Hold
Really?
my beer.
Watch this. Watch. Here I go.
I mean, I've seen pictures of you sitting on a toilet in your driveway, getting your kids off the bus.
Yeah, and it was during Breast Awareness Month. I even had my Save Your Tata t-shirt on under my coveralls.
Like coveralls and a tutu.
Well, I didn't have the tutu on when I was on the toilet.
Oh, okay.
That was another day.
Well, Shaun, you do a little bit of work over, was it Athens area, for some of the car manufacturing that we've got coming into Alabama here.
Correct.
And are y'all seeing a shortage of workers over there, or what?
We're seeing a shortage of workers, and with our SOP, which is supposed to be starting now, has been delayed, of course, with COVID, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't even really started trial runs or anything on the Mazda line, just purely on the Toyota line, because we don't have the manpower.
Wow. Yeah, I know we've got another friend that owns his own business, and he's, I mean, Russ is even doing some work for him on the side on the weekends and stuff when he's not running around towing illegal equipment around.
I believe that's the same guy I helped out last summer because he was shorthanded last summer.
Well, he's even more shorthanded now.
I know. It's got to be hard.
You know, he says it's JMac Services. I'm starting to think it's just JMac Service because it's only him.
I believe it's just him and one other.
Yeah, and Russ every once in a while.
I was only able to help him once just because of every other thing, but he was backed up and busy then. I just feel bad for him.
Russ was the official gopher.
Hey,
Go for this, go for that.
Go get that. Go get that.
I was the exact same thing last summer because I've never learned anything about HVAC. I didn't know anything, so I was just pure hands, pure back, just helping.
Well, you know the problem doesn't even, we hear about. Okay, so there's a backup, and you can actually go online and look it up. I'll see if I can pop in a picture here of that. But you can go look at the backup of cargo ships and stuff that are setting off our coast, both coast and the Gulf, that they can't get unloaded, and that's having a trickle down effect because hey, you go to Walmart and guess what? Half the shelves are empty.
Right.
Even Dollar General's got some empty shelves, and we all know that they've got everything. Even the John Wayne toilet paper don't take crap off nobody.
That's right.
OEM to fix the simplest stuff so you can get a project done right now.
Oh yeah.
Like this thing you need for a tractor or whatever, you can't get it.
Well, I mean, just take for instance, I went to a school board meeting. I guess it's been a couple months ago, but they're having trouble getting started on our new elementary school addition because they had, I think it was 5 or 6 general contractors that qualified. Only 2 bid it. Only 1 electrical contractor put in a bid. And they can't even get started right now because they can't get enough materials. And
right.
Not only that, but you've got a shortage of labor people. I honestly think a lot of times we've really messed ourselves up with the subsidies and stuff that came out of our that big C word that we can't talk about or else YouTube will kick us off. So, but that being said, it's affecting everything because you look at Martin, for example. I've seen him put on Facebook a couple of times about, hey, metal prices fixing to go up, which means, guess what? Your unit's fixing to go up. If you got to replace one, you better jump on it now. I've seen him put that out. You can't, but there's huge fields of cars sitting up in Detroit and stuff right now where they can't even get the chips to put in them. And they're actually talking about going ahead and setting them out without the chips even. So, I don't know. It's a big mess. But, one thing that hits close to heart, I know both of you boys are like me. You love bacon. But if you notice the price of meat now, not Neesmiths, but
they're going up too.
You know what? Wait on a cargo ship to get here.
Do what?
Stuff made in the United States.
That's kind of sad.
we were going towards that at one point.
It just brings back to the fact that we've got to get back to more made in America stuff. I know we push that a lot. But we can't be going nuts with it either. I mean,
well, one thing about that, if you want to buy USA products, you don't have the manpower again to produce the manpower or the USA stuff. Because just like us at work, I mean, we're so short-handed. How would we produce 10,000 more cars? It wouldn't be, we couldn't do it.
Well,
we'd be working like 16, 20-hour days, 6 days a week.
Right now, we're in a shutdown at the plant that I work at, and, that usually runs a month. But we don't have the manpower here in North Alabama to man that. And that's a usual thing. So we'll have groups out. We have one called Olmsted that comes out of Texas to come in and help, but they're a specialized thing. They deal with refineries and stuff like that. Being a chemical plant, we get them coming in as well. But the local companies are even having to pull people from other states in. Turner Industries is a big one that does a lot of industrial maintenance and stuff. They're not just here in Alabama. They're in Texas and
Louisiana.
yeah, lots of other states. And they've actually had to pull people from other states to come up here and work our turnaround because they don't have enough people in this area. It's sad, but, and I don't know how to fix it. Shaun, you got all the answers, don't you?
I do, but I hate to share them. My answers aren't ever correct, so I don't like to share them. They laugh at me.
I haven't walked in one business lately that isn't hiring.
Oh, no. Well,
And I had somebody walk up to me the other day and said, "Well, I've been looking for a job." No, you ain't. Get out of my face. You ain't been looking for no job.
you ain't been looking hard then. That's just the thing. I mean, I saw on Facebook tonight, and I think, Russ, you said something about it. Hardee's is the only fast food restaurant open tonight in Moulton. McDonald's is closed.
Unverified, but that's according to Facebook.
Yeah.
I think Facebook's true.
Oh,
But
yeah.
tonight, Hardee's the only thing open.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't have an answer to it. It used to be that when we were in school, I know that when it came, during the week or whatever, you were that 16-year-old kid that you were out trying to find a little side job, working at fast food or whatever. I don't see a lot of that anymore, and that's, I guess, part of the problem. But I don't know how to motivate people to get out. Like you said, you had somebody say, I've been looking for a job. No, you ain't been looking hard then. But
and especially with all the sign-on bonuses, there's so many plants now that are giving $2,000 to $5,000 to apply, and you work a 6-month period. I think it's 6 months or 12 months. You get $5,000. Who doesn't need a $5,000 Christmas bonus?
I'll go even further than that. Guy I work with, share my office with, said he saw on a sign for, I think it was Arby's in Hartselle. They had a $200 signing bonus. It's like, really? Fast food? I would never have expected that one. So, and Russ is not just holding that pose. He is frozen for some reason.
He's probably asleep.
I'm not asleep.
I think he just snored.
That was a snort, not a snore. Yeah. Well, we know Russ has been up. Russ is running on about an hour and a half worth of sleep, and part of that is from a little bit of this.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, big fan? Come on.
You're gonna make everybody think I'm a moonshiner now.
Yep. Hey, I've said, hey, you're now more of a suspect than you were, because now you have a piece of equipment that can dig big holes. So, but one of the main things I wanted to talk about, though, and it may bleed off into another topic, but one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and this is really keys in with Shaun, because Shaun, you do a little show here called the Shaun's Show.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll get it out in a minute. And you your partner in crime is guy I went to school with. Known him for most of my life. We went to kindergarten together with Callie, So, I still don't know how you can stand to work with him, but no. Sean Lou Allen is a great guy.
He is.
I love having him as a friend. So, but that being said, the hospitality and stuff that you put forth, Southerners, we get a bad name in a lot of things. We're always, short of Mississippi, Alabama's always talked about being last in everything. So, you know, Mississippi and us, we trade back and forth, I think. But there's one thing that people just can't say that about, though, and that's our hospitality and our what's the word I'm looking for, guys?
Southern gentlemen.
Yeah.
Lady bells.
Genuineness.
Yes, there we go. And Shaun, you do it. You started out your little show trying to show everybody that was at work or whatever the ability to watch their kids play sports and stuff. They pull it up, watch it on Facebook Live, and watch their kid playing football when they had to work or whatever.
That's how it all started.
Yeah, now you're a big, huge national success.
We're not ESPN yet.
Not yet.
We're waiting on the call.
I will give you one score though right now. It's just popped up. Atlanta did lose tonight, unfortunately. So hate that. Yep. Final score is 5-6, Los Angeles. So yeah, I hate that. We needed to win this one and one more and just be done with the playoffs. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. So you started this whole thing. I don't think you were even talking on the first one, were you?
Not really. I can even tell you who it was that needed me to do it, and that was Tim LeMay. His son was a freshman, and he was, rotating shifts at where he works. And he said, would you live it? And I'm like, sure. It started out with a selfie stick, taped to 3 brooms, kind of a homemade tripod. That is how we started. And, then the next game, we were at Russellville, and the tripod broke, and Shaun Lou Allen, which I call my teddy bear, he fixed it with a cigarette pack and a pair of channel locks he had in his pocket. So then we grew from there, and I mean, we've got mixers and headsets and everything now, but it all started by letting Tim watch Zach play one Friday night. But then last year with that word, a lot of people weren't able to come. So it was a really big help to a lot of people with us being up in the stands live in it.
Yeah, I've got a couple small girls, and they don't understand going to the football games and stuff yet. So I've watched a few of them this year because I didn't even know you were doing that last year. So, but in that same vein of things, though, it really hit me the other day. I had to do a funeral for at church, and after the funeral, I was leaving behind the funeral procession, and one thing that really hit me as I was driving down the road behind the funeral procession is the people, the reverence that we as Southerners still pay to those that have passed. I mean, there's a guy, he was over here mowing his yard. He didn't have to stop or anything else, but he did. He stopped and he sat there on his zero turn, and I think his wife was over here raking leaves, and they both had stopped waiting for the funeral procession to pass. Get a little bit further down the road, there was a guy that was hiking up the road there, and he had on a backpack and a hiking stick, and everything. And he had stopped, and he was just standing there, waiting for the funeral procession to pass. In the South, people pull off and still stop when the funeral procession comes by.
Oh, yeah.
Shaun, you had something you were telling us a minute ago about one of your boys there.
Right. I didn't know the guy. And he found me on Facebook and then asked somebody what my cell phone number was. And he called me that night and let me know that my little one, which he didn't know who it was, he just said, man, you had a little boy out in front of your house. And as we drove by, he stood there with his hand over his heart and waited till every car came by. And I just wanted to call and just let you know, you got a great young one there. And I mean, I told Brock, I was like, buddy, that's kudos to you. That's amazing. And then for that guy to go out of his way just to find my number to make sure I knew that was pretty special.
And I don't know as if this, I guess it's something it is taught and passed down, but we don't think about it. It's just the way it's always been.
Second nature.
But you go up north and stuff, and you're not going to find that type of hospitality. You're not going to find those things happening. Hey, it's nothing against our northern friends, but, it's just the way culture has changed, But here, it's second nature. I mean,
yep.
You see the flashing lights and a hearse, and everybody's going to either stop or at least pull off the side of the road. And you can't beat that.
No. And I can about guarantee you, if they don't have an Alabama tag.
I will agree with you 100% there.
I've seen it where somebody goes to go around a funeral procession and somebody pull out in front of them and block their path to let them go. I've seen that happen because I used to escort them, when I worked patrol. So I've seen people block people from being disrespectful.
Right.
And it really is. It's a respect thing. And, we talk about the way society has gone today and how things have degraded with everything else. But here in the South, we're still, it still is just prominent. Everybody makes fun of our governor, but she is a Southern lady, and she'll tell you bless your heart while she's trying to tell you you're stupid. But
I don't. I know neither one of y'all would know who my grandmother was, but if you knew Grandmother Montgomery, you would hear our governor, and you would think you could close your eyes, and you could hear Grandmother Montgomery. Shaun, David, you need to come in here. I mean, the exact same monologue voice, identical. So I've heard that voice for many years.
And that's the thing too, though, is even in the South, this is not a standard. My grandmother, I spent a lot of summers in higher humidity than what we have in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And it wasn't the same down there as it is here. It's just something about Alabama. Maybe it's just North Alabama. I don't know. But it's just something about Alabama.
We're the buckle. We're the buckle of the Bible belt.
Let's hope that belt don't slip.
Cinch it up good.
Like my belt, I had to add some notches to it so you could extend it on
Yeah, well, that's about all of us. All right, guys. What was you gonna say, Sean?
No, it just wait till you get older. it grow. You had to get a new belt. It don't go out no more.
Hey, that's not funny.
I know. I'm living the dream.
Oh, so you're getting smaller?
No, I'm getting healthier.
Yeah, we know about your healthiness, you know.
Yeah, you
what
try
was it?
eating 6
Neesmith's hamburgers in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Man, I felt my arteries clogging just watching you.
I'll share a picture that afternoon with y'all later.
It was you in a garbage can.
No, it wasn't a garbage can. It wasn't a garbage can.
Hey, look at it this way. At least it wasn't down the side of your car.
No. Everything got cleansed that night. I will say that.
While we're on the Southern hospitality manners, just this type of genre here. I didn't say that right, but on this kind of topic, when's the last time you've seen a female? And on this show, I'm going to refer to people as female and male. A female sit down at a table, and the men stand up out of respect and wait on her to sit down before they sit down. When's the last time you've seen that? Or a male holding a door open for a female just because they're a female? Or anything like that. Like, I haven't seen that in forever. Like, I used to, when I was trying to date Melissa, I'd be holding doors. Like, I think it's always getting kind of lazy. So,
Yeah.
Relaxed.
I think that sparked a little thing in me. Hey, I need to be more chivalrous, I guess you could say. I'd like to see some of that come back, But they used to teach that in school. Yeah. Now we're worried about other things.
Yeah, now, yeah.
I think it was funny you said you were trying to date Melissa.
Heck, it took you.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help that.
That's exactly right.
Yes, I have sound effects, and I'm not afraid to use them, especially with Sean on here. Sean's over here like this,
But I remember when as a small child. That's before my time.
As my 4-year-old calls that's bug life, because we call her Bug. So
That's funny.
But yeah, I'm right with you. I mean, I will hold the door for anybody, whether male or female. Period. But I have seen, especially the I guess you'd call it the liar's table up at Little's. When a lady comes to sit down there, all of them get up.
Yep.
When she sits down, they all sit down.
That's right.
I think that is a lost thing. On maybe it was just our generation or our parents' generation maybe. Well, I can't say our parents' generation because usually Russ's dad is one of those, but at the liar's table.
Well, you were talking about Little's. You got 2 liars tables. You got one in the smoking and one in the non-smoking. I mean, you just do, and they act exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've seen the one in the non-smoking, but it's hard to miss the one in the smoking section.
The one in the non-smoking is lined on the right by the windows.
I got you. Well, hey, it's odd too that most places have went to no smoking at all, but we still have smoking sections around Lawrence County. At least in 2 restaurants.
You should. Free business, free enterprise. Do what you want.
Well,
America. If you don't like smoking, don't go in there.
Well, it's funny that Steak and Biscuit, also known as Choke and Puke, um, they actually have a separate entrance to go in for non-smoking.
They do now.
That was kind of funny when I saw first time I noticed that it non-smoking entrance, big sign up there.
I thought you had to smoke to go in Steak and Biscuit.
Well, if you didn't smoke when you went in, you were at least smelling that way when you came out. So,
but you had to walk through it.
Love that place.
I have to put that in that same category of Neesmiths. I've tried it. I'm good.
You know, my first experience actually with my wife, she took me to the Steak and Biscuit for a truck drivers club with spicy fries and ranch. That was like the big plate to get.
I'm glad you said that right. Ranch.
Ranch.
Yeah, that's why I don't eat it.
I mean, I think I went to. I know I went to Neesmiths in school, and I went. We actually had an interesting thing happen. We had some guys that came into the band hall. Yes, I'm a band geek. We had guys come into the band hall, stole purses, and went running out. And me and the rest of the drum line were sitting there going, "What the crap just happened?" And we ended up spending most of the day at the police department doing eyewitness reports. But then we all got to go eat lunch late. But yeah, I think that was one. I think that was one of those times that I actually got to go in Steak and Biscuit there for lunch one time. So, but I'm good. You know, that's just like it's not that I don't support local people. It's just, you know, there's a screen door involved if I eat too much grease. So
when I was growing up, it was like, let's go riding in the mountains. Which riding in the mountains, you'd stop by Rand Grocery, get rid of your trash, and then you'd go into town, go to Steak and Biscuit, get you something to eat, and then you'd go home.
Well, you know, that was a new life I learned once I met Angie. That's the God honest truth. I mean, we didn't do that. I mean, we didn't go to the riding or dirt back road riding or dirt road riding. Never had that.
Hey, that's just like, you know, everybody was in the old Walmart parking lot until they got run off, and then everybody moved over to Winn-Dixie parking lot. And then I think somebody got shot. So, yeah, I never done that until I guess I was maybe my senior year, or maybe it was right after I'd graduated was the first time I ever done that.
I'm going to show my age. We went to Bargain Town, USA whenever we came to Moulton from Decatur. We had Bargain Town, USA here.
Hey, we used to go to Russ. Probably you may not know this one, Russ, but we used to go to Decatur to go to Hill's department store.
Oh, that's it. That was right by where I live.
He doesn't know it.
But if I was going to go to town to go riding around, if I wasn't going to go to Moulton and park on the cool side of the Cardinal, we would go to Russellville and we'd ride the strip in Russellville. Now that was fun.
Now you said the cool side of Cardinal. Oh, my bad. Yeah, is that the big B side? Big B side. I park on the big B side.
The bank side.
It's the bank side was the cool side.
No.
Hey, I remember my grandmother used to live over in the Chickasaw Estate apartments over there back behind Vaughn Gas, what used to be Vaughn Gas. And I used to ride my bike from there up to Big B to get cold drinks and stuff and snacks, and then ride back. So I spent a little bit of time in Moulton, but I was never the big city. In fact, Russ and I have lived within quarter mile of each other pretty much all of our lives. So, Shaun just has to come from the big city, Decatur. I mean,
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about these uppity people like that.
What year was your black and gray Z71, Danny?
Do what now?
What year was your black and gray Z71 extended cab?
98, I think.
I bought the speaker box that thing, put it in my truck, and got some more use out of it.
Well, speaking of people around Lawrence County, we'll embarrass him. We want to wish happy birthday to our good buddy and tax assessor, Mr. Brad Henderson. So, his birthday. He won't see this till Friday, but his birthday is today. So, Russ, you had something else. Go ahead, Shaun. I don't mean to cut you off.
Have y'all seen? Y'all were talking about me doing the Shaun show. Have y'all ever watched me do the? I guess it's the Moulton Middle School now, and Jody Waldrop sits in with me on all the JH or middle school football games. He announces with me, and he gives Brad Henderson such props on that. Y'all need to listen to him sometime. And Brad knows it. Brad knows it.
I've seen that a couple of times. I haven't sat down and listened to it, but I've seen it pop up on my live feed every once in a while. So
yeah, you got to listen to Jody and Brad. That's funny. It's really good.
But we're gonna have to take and come. Wouldn't be photo bombing. I guess it'd be live stream bombing on you and Shaun one night.
Oh yeah.
Bust up
Especially
in there, kick him out of the way.
Yeah, some of these games we've had, we need some little more entertainment.
Well, I don't know about entertainment, but I can't bring my little soundboard here with me.
What?
So.
Well, I had a special guest 2 weeks ago come in from Madison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tricky Ricky Fernandez came over from the Trash Pandas and sat in with Shaun and I for 3 quarters. That was pretty cool.
All right, I got a question here. What is your involvement with the Trash Pandas?
I'm just me. I don't clock in. I don't clock out. But I'll wear my red, white, and blue cut-off rompers with my Trash Pandas shirt. And I now know 90% of the workers. And I go in the VIP door and I just kind of make myself at home, just kind of do whatever I want. And I've just become friends with everybody.
Romper? I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a redneck romper. I mean.
In case of everybody else doesn't know, that's his coveralls. Or overalls, I'm sorry.
That's my romper.
Redneck romper. That's a good one. All right. Let's see. Russ, you had brought up something more political tonight as we were getting ready to start. You want to fill us in on that?
Mike Durant has announced his candidacy for Alabama State Senate. So, you'll know who Mike Durant is. Google him real quick. He was involved in Black Hawk Down pilot. I'm going to correct myself here to make sure.
So, we're still adding to the race here is the weird part.
Yeah, he was in the 160th, which was the Night Stalkers. So he was in Special Operations Aviation, Army's version of aviation. Or Army aviation that takes Special Forces from point A to point B. So he was a pilot during the Black Hawk Down incident. And he has announced his candidacy for the Alabama Senate race coming up. So that would be Mo Brooks, Linda Blanchard, Katie Britt, Mike Durant, and probably messing up some other names.
Yeah, there's another lady too. I don't remember her
The
name.
Democratic side that I'm definitely leaving out that I don't know the names.
That's that one may turn the tides a little bit. I don't know. That becomes a big name when you start talking about, Black Hawk Down and stuff. I do want. Thank you for the wonderful entertainment tonight, Shaun.
Hey, no problem. It's easy.
I do want to take and go back to our Southern hospitality thing for a moment, though. I got something that's kind of been weighing heavy on me, and Russ knows what all I go through, but and there's a lot of people that have probably a lot worse off than I do, but I've heard it called the sandwich generation. It's where you're taking care of your kids and you have to take care of your parents. I don't guess maybe that is a Southern hospitality thing, but I've worked full-time job. We do this when we can. I've got politics, I've got church, but on top of all of that, I've got 2 little girls who have access to YouTube and stuff and can see and hear things. And then I've got my dad who's turned 86 this year that I have to try to take care of as well. And y'all, that's hard. I don't know as if that's Southern hospitality or not, but it's just like the Southern hospitality kind of what I saw with the funeral procession there weighing on me. That's been weighing on me too. It's you got a bear in your pocket?
Yeah, he just jumped up in my lap.
Sorry. Squirrel.
Squirrel.
But it's there's a lot of people that out there probably have it a lot worse off than I do with that. But you can never. My sister said something to me one time about, I think about how hard it is on me, but I don't know if I want to go down the road and open any other door and find out what they're dealing with, because it's probably worse than what I'm dealing with. But I just encourage people to, hey, you got to remember there's people dealing with a lot of stuff out here. And we're seeing a lot more mental illness and stuff pop up. So be nice to one another. Show that Southern hospitality. So, all right. Well, y'all got anything else?
I want to tag on to that. Be courteous. Give somebody a break. They might yell at you or do something crazy one day, but be a good person, they just might be having a bad day. So I kind of I say not only be courteous to one another and give them that hospitality, but give somebody a mulligan every now and then. People make mistakes.
I agree.
And y'all have talked about, my tutu, my romper, my cowbell, everything that I do tonight. Y'all brought up some of it. And it's hard to believe, but even I have haters. I mean, believe it or not, there are people out there right now that can't stand what I do. And I know that. And have you seen me stop? I'm still going to because I know that grandma that she's gonna sign on as soon as she sees Shaun's life, and she's gonna be there till the end. As long as I'm helping that grandma, that grandpa, or that dad that's working 60 hours, 80 hours that week, I'll continue doing what I do just to help those people out.
And that's been our attitude with this whole podcast too. Is there's a lot of people. I'll share this and then we'll kind of wrap it up. But there's a lot of people that don't understand how government works. You know, I got hit today with, well, we need to stop this mandate stuff. I'm not going to go into what it is. It goes along with the big C word that we're not going to talk about. But it was like, well, they're saying, well, what's our state representative think about that? Well, our state representative don't have nothing to do with that. That mandate's coming from the federal government. And the state can't overrule that. Unfortunately, they can't do that. If we would have had something in place prior to that mandate, then it possibly could have had some sort of something come, some way to stop it. There would have been more grounds for a lawsuit. At this point, it's, well, I just don't like what you're doing. Okay, well, we're the federal government. This is how it's going to go. And that's part of what we're trying to do with this podcast is, just like you're trying to show grandma her grandson out there playing, we're trying to help people understand what's actually going on and how things are actually working. It's not that we know all the answers, because we sure don't. That's the reason that we have, like Proncy on and stuff, to give us insights on what's going on. Before long, we're going to have John Merrill on to talk with us about, voter registration, what's going on with like lawsuits on voter ID and stuff like that. We don't have all those answers. In fact, John's just a whiz with numbers. I don't know how he manages to pull off all the numbers that he's got in his head, but he can sit there and tell you how many registered voters Alabama has today.
Wow.
And I have trouble remembering my own phone number. So, like you said, you're doing it for the people that are out there that are listening or watching, and we're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to help people understand. We're going to work on trying to talk to like our county engineer. There's been a lot of people that have been unhappy with how Lawrence County is doing some roads right now. But hey, it's the money that we've got. We got to do what we can with it. And there's a lot of people that don't understand that. Well, why can't you pave my road? Well, it's I want to think the price tag's about $160,000 per mile.
That sounds about right.
Okay, $160,000. You start adding that up, you're talking about maybe being able to pave 10 miles a year with the money that Lawrence County gets.
Right.
How can we do that? Do you go pave 10 miles a year, or do you chip seal 30 a year? That's where we're at, guys. And people don't understand that. And they want to take and point at our commissioners and go, well, that's a road commissioner. Well, no, it's not. That road department is handled by the engineer. And county commission, they're out there to say, okay, road engineer, we're giving you this much this year to be able to pave or fix this many roads. You know, this is your budget. You know, but we'll get more into that in the months to come. We're going to try to talk with our county engineer and maybe one of our commissioners as well. I know Russ is enthused about that.
I'm just
As
glad
he's
he's still
frozen
awake. I'm glad he's awake.
Oh, he moved. It's a game tonight to know whether he's frozen or if he's actually moving.
That's right.
We're gonna have to come over there and pop him a good one.
I would like to say thanks though to Russ and all the other men and women in law enforcement, because last night was a big night for Lawrence County.
Yes.
And I just want to say thank you, Russ. Thanks, Max, everyone else. Thank y'all for helping out and doing that. Because, I mean, not everybody can do that job, much less want to do that job. So that's a big thanks. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it takes... I don't understand how he does it either. I mean, that's just like firefighters. You know, it takes a certain person. A lot of people say they're crazy, but, you know, it takes a certain person to run into a burning building instead of out.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, hey, take a minute and thank these people, because
that's right.
They're there to serve and protect us as citizens, not just there to write tickets. So
pour out my beer.
Give you tickets for illegal equipment or something, you know.
Illegally dressed. I believe it or not, one time
in a tutu.
Jenkins came by and I about wrecked when he saw me out in the yard, because I was cowbelling him the whole way he came by, and he's like, he turned on his lights and sirens, and I could just hear him laughing. So that was pretty cool.
I have to say, I haven't drove by and been able to see this. I may have to try to time that one day.
Well, the only thing is I have to rent kids now to do it. So if you got young girls, give me a call. I don't get to do it.
Well, mine don't ride the bus, so that's part of the problem. And I'm a good enough embarrassment to them, probably.
Nope.
Russ has not gotten there yet. His little girl's too young to be embarrassed yet. So, all right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Unless y'all got something else. Want to
Thank you for letting me come on.
Yeah, you know, hey, it's nice to just sit down with friends and talk for a little bit, you know.
That's right. It's good. It's good deal.
Even if you're not trying to wolf down a bunch of Neesmith's hamburgers.
I'll share that picture with y'all. I will.
But appreciate you coming in and sharing with us, Shaun. And you know, if you're listening to us on any of the podcast services, hey, you know, we're on about all of them now. Make sure you give us a 5 stars, hit that subscribe button if you have to, or if you can. If you're watching us on YouTube, hey, it may not be the prettiest thing to watch, but thanks. We're trying to have fun with this and try to keep Russ awake over there. But, you know, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And we might even link over to some of Shaun's YouTube in the description. I've seen some stuff on YouTube.
Well, that's a long time ago. We're not going to talk about
that. Daniel, you might not know this because it just occurred to me. I'm actually YouTube famous. I will share the next podcast when I got baited into being on video by a professional baiter.
Wow.
And they've had several thousand views, several thousand comments.
I know what you're talking about, and it's pretty funny.
So I'll share that next. Weekend. I think it'll be.
Yeah, so everybody put a bookmark on that one so that you can see that. So I think we can pull that one off of YouTube and go ahead and show that one on here. So, all right. Well, guys, I appreciate it. Russ and Shaun, I'll let y'all have the last words. Just don't fight over it.
Be courteous and practice some chivalry.
Careful saying that.
Yeah. Be a Southern gentleman. Be a Southern gentleman. Open the door for your lady.
All right.